What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to the shop. My name is John McGrath and this is my channel Man in Shed, and today I have another tool review for you. This is the Triton dual mode plunge router. Now this particular router is designed to be handheld and used with a router table. I've been using this for about a year now, so I've put it through its paces. So I thought I'd give you a quick review and a quick recommendation on it. So let's jump in and get a closer look. Right guys, this is the Triton dual mode plunge router. This is the 1400 watt version, which is 2 horsepower. It's also available in a 2400 watt version, or 3.5 horsepower. It has all the same features and functions as this one. I went with the 1400 watt because it's more than powerful what I need, and the other one is a little bit big and a little bit bulky. But if you need more power, the option is there. Now it's called dual mode because they designed it to be used handheld and with a router table. And we'll go through all that stuff now in a minute. Included in the box with this is the extended base plate, which is nice. You get the fence, the fully adjustable fence then that fits onto this base plate. It also comes with a 1/4 inch collet, which is what I have on at the minute. And it also has an 8mm collet. As well, you get the height adjustment handle for using with a router table. So this goes down through your router table, attaches to your router, and you can raise and lower the height of the tool that you're using in relation to your router table, which is very, very handy. It's a nice little function. And you also get then the spanner for the collet for inserting and taking out your tool. That's everything that's included in the box. Now let's go through some of the features of this router. Okay guys, at the close-up of the tool then we go through some of the features and functions of this thing. It is the 1400 watt version, like I say, which is 2 horsepower. It's adjustable from a no load speed of 8,000 RPM up to 21,000 RPM, so you have plenty of range there for working with different materials and different bits. The beauty of this router, I find, is that it has 3 height adjustments, or 3 ways to adjust the height. So if you press in this guy here, he's just a standard plunge router, so you can adjust the height just by plunging to whatever you want, and like any other router you can just lock the height in place. Then release that, it just returns back up. Release this guy and we can now engage the clutch, which is on the winding handle here, and we can wind it to whatever height we like, and it will stay there. If you want a bit more security, you can also lock it again. And the third option then is the fine adjustment wheel, which is really nice. So once this guy is disengaged, I can use this to drop it. You know, you can drop it 1 mil or 2 at a time, up and down with this fine adjustment, which is a really nice function. This is also what works with your router table. So your handle comes down through your table, attaches to the fine adjustment wheel, and this is how you raise and lower your router through your router table, which is very handy. Now if you have a large router table and you have a router without this function, it's just a standard plunge router, you have to get under the router table and raise and lower that router and try and measure from on top. It's a bit awkward. It's not too big an issue when you have a small little, say, bench mounted router table where you can just, it's all in front of you and you can reach underneath. But that feature alone is fantastic for this when you mount it to a router table. So that's the 3 height adjustment functions for this router. On to the next features. Right, in for an even closer look at this thing then, we'll go through some more features. So we have good clear plastic guards front and back. We have a dust extraction port here, so a standard shop vac will fit it. If you don't use the shop vac, however, these things do clog up and they will impede your visibility, so that's just something to think about. The depth stop function again on this thing is really nice. It's well thought out. So we have our depth stop here. We can put it up out of the way and lock it out of the way if we need to. We have 3 positions. So we can drop it onto this guy. That is our depth stop. And say if I wanted to route something the depth of this spanner, I would just take that, place it there, lock it, and now I will plunge exactly that depth. I can rotate these guys around then as well if we want to set different heights. So you have an option of setting 2 different heights if you're doing 2 different types of cuts or 2 different depths. It's easy to rotate these around and set them to whatever you want. So again, you literally have 3 options on that, which is really, really handy. It's a good functioning depth stop. Right guys, we are rightly zoomed in here now because this machine has a spindle lock that I want to show you. It's an automatic spindle lock, which is extremely handy. So if I lower this down, you'll see the spindle lock in here engage. So if I raise it back up, you'll see it pull out. You can see it go in and out there as I raise and lower this. So what that means is, as I lower this to its lowest point, that spindle is now locked, which gives me 2 hands free to adjust this collet, to tighten it, to put in the tools in and out, which is very handy. Also, when it comes to use with a router table, I don't have to get under the router table now to press in the spindle lock and try and operate it with the spanner from on top. I can just lower this to its lowest point through my router table, and it would automatically lock that spindle underneath the router table for me, so making tools removal extremely easy in conjunction with a router table. So that's a really nice feature. Right, we're zoomed back out again. I'm just going to show you how to attach this base plate. This is also how you attach this particular router to Triton router tables. It has a quick release function, so you just loosen these guys. They're spring loaded. You just push them up and clamp them through. So take your base plate, very simple, push them up and click it on. They lock in there, and you just tighten these guys down. That's the base plate attached. See if we can see that there, we can. Right, and with this base plate now, it makes it very, very simple to cut circles. So all I have to do is fix this guy to the center of my circle, adjust my radius. So my radius will be adjusted from my center point to my cutting tool. So you have a set, obviously, distance size circles that you can route with this thing, but it's great for cutting out circles. So just fix that to whatever you want, and that will rotate around that then for cutting circles. It makes it very, very simple. To attach the fence, again, extremely easy. The adjustable fence just slides on, and you tighten it with these two guys here, and you can adjust this up and down to whatever you want. So that makes the fence adjustment, cutting circles, fitting this thing to a router table extremely easy. Also, if you wanted to build your own router table, which is something I might do in the near future, you could modify this base plate and attach it to the bottom of a table. And there you have already built in a way to quickly mount and dismount your router from your router table, which is a nice little feature. Right, a little safety feature then with this Triton tool. Again, they've thought about it handheld and for use with your router table. The on-off switch here, you see as it's powered up, it has an indicator light here. It also has a guard protecting it. When you lower this machine and the spindle lock engages, you can no longer open this guard, so you can't accidentally switch it on when you're changing a tool. You should always unplug these things anyway when you're changing a tool, just to be 100%, because you're relying on a mechanical switch there that could engage, could break, and set this thing off when it's in your hands. So always unplug it, but just for when it's under the router table, hopefully you should have a stop on the front of your router table anyway that you can switch on and off the power, but it will lock this button once the tool is fully lowered and the spindle lock is engaged, which is a nice little feature. Okay, finally then guys, just to talk about mounting this thing to a router table. Again, you will be using your quick connectors to do that. You will need to remove this base plate. That's for this particular, the winding handle, the height adjustment handle, so it can fit onto your micro adjuster there. It just sits in here, and this keeps it slightly proud and off at an angle. So this comes off, and there's a little notch just right here that guy sits into. So you need to remove that. Also, you will need to pull the plunge spring out of it. So the plunge spring sits in here. It's what just returns your router to top position. It does say warning, spring under tension. So when you open this thing, be careful it doesn't spring out and hit you in the face. That would not be too much fun. Maybe wear a pair of goggles when you're doing it. So yeah, just be careful. Spring is under tension in here. So you just need to remove that and the base plate. And then it's just quick connect this thing to the bottom of the router table. Like I say, you could modify this base plate if you want to build yourself your own router table, which mightn't be a bad idea. You can just fix this to the end of it, and then you have a quick connection plate for your router. Right, let's finish up this review. Is there anything that I've left out that you might want to know? Let's check the notes. Yep, it has a total plunge depth of 59 millimeters, if that's important to you. It also has a soft start feature, so when you power this thing up, it doesn't go to full power straight away. So that's nice if you have your tool, or if you have your tool against your work, it won't kick off it or take a big chunk out of it. So that's a nice little feature as well. It is 6.2 kilos, so it's a bit on the heavy side. And like I say, it's pretty powerful. I can only imagine what the 2400 watt version is like. But so its positives are also its negatives. If you're doing some fine work and you don't intend on using your router with a router table, maybe look at a smaller router. But if you do intend using it handheld and with a router table, definitely check these dual mode plunge routers out. Like I say, there is a bigger version if you feel like you need more power. I certainly don't. Or if you want to use 1/2 inch bits, Then the next size up does come with a 1/2 inch collet. You can get a 1/2 inch collet for this, I believe, to fix to it, but it comes with a 1/4 inch and a 6mm collet. I won't do a demonstration of me using it, guys, because I've loads of videos on my channel building guitars and stuff like that where you can see me use this thing, so I won't bore you to death with that again. But like I say, I've been using it for over a year now, and it hasn't let me down. Except for that one time that I took a big chunk out of the side of one of my guitars when I was building it. That was my own fault, but yeah, that wasn't the tool's fault. So that's it, guys. I've been John McGrath. This has been my review of this Triton dual mode plunge router. Comments and questions below. Hopefully this has been useful if you're in the market for a router. Hopefully you found this video interesting, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.